I just wanted to come make this quick video in regards to this article involving a 5-year-old child that has lesbian parents. And apparently the child was put out of the school. Told the child couldn't attend the school. She wasn't put out. It was 2 days before the child had started, supposedly. And this little girl right here, little white girl, was told that her parents was told that the school wouldn't be a good fit for her due to the fact of her parents' lifestyle, which is, lesbian lifestyle. So the parents went into uproar, which, what parent wouldn't when they feel like their child is being denied something or, not being treated fairly. Um, I wanted to bring this article and talk about it and, you know, use it as one of my talking points because it's a good example. And it's not really the article itself and the people itself, it's just the situation. And I wanted to correlate this with the black community and how, if you ever notice how these white people, and it's usually white people, usually for the most part when the situations like this, their child, I know it's countless of incidents where you have a gay couple and they'll place their child is attending this certain academy, or in this case they're trying to place their child in this academy, and the child is denied due to the parents' lifestyle. Now my thing is this: if you ever really noticed and paid attention to these white people, okay, or these non-black people, when they go and they make attempts like that, and something happened with their child is denied, they're devastated. They'll go and make a big old stink about it, but ultimately they sue the schools, or if they don't, they place the child someplace else. They don't continuously, like example, the the Sesame Street situation, where you have a bunch of black people. And I'm not saying that you should not fight for your rights or fight for when you're mistreated, but Sesame Place has a long history of racism. I'm not the first. This is nothing new. It's new to it being on the news and them being drugged the way that they are right about now. I guess that was overdue. But you know what would have been more overdue? What's been overdue is you stop taking your goddamn kids there. But you can't come in the black community and tell them that. It's like they don't see that. They just see that they want to be accepted. They want to fight for something that they think belongs to them. And don't get it twisted. What normal person would not fight to be treated fairly? What normal person? It's like when you're black, you got to live in a twilight zone. But, I digress from that one. The point that I'm making is exactly the way that they do things is exactly somewhat how you should operate, black people. If they don't want you there, it's like, come on now, who in the hell would want? That's really what you are doing. You're begging for your child to be up on old dirty Santa Claus lap that don't like your child. That could be I've said in my previous video, he could be under there sexually, lusting behind your child, but just to feel included. Okay, instead of just to feel included. You want your child to be treated the same way as and for a fact they don't like your child. They showing you. They snubbing them. They walking away. They telling them no. They pushing them down. They mugging them. They punching them. It's a lot of stuff that's happened. Kicking them up the butt. Babies. That's the type of respect that they give you. And they find it funny that you will run behind them knowing that's like you trying to tell a woman in the black community, he don't want you. They justify it. They justify him mistreating you. And to some degree, I kind of get where a person might say, just like I'm trying to say, if a person is mistreating you like that and they don't want you, baby. Move on. I'm not telling you to move on to the same situation. Of course not. If I cared anything about you, had any type of, empathy in my heart for people, you would never tell a person to stay in a messed up situation where they're being abused and mistreated. But it seems like that's kind of like the go-to thing in the black community, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a job, whether it's like they have it in their mind psychologically that they're meant to be mistreated. They're put here for mistreatment. But in hindsight, they'll jump up and act as if that's not supposed to happen when it happens. Do the same people that you know for a fact do this. It's a known fact. It's a historical fact. It's a historical fact. Even if you want to say, oh, I live around a bunch of white people and they never treated me. They've never been this way to me. If this has never happened. So I'm shocked and appalled. I'm going to, fine. But historically, this is your treatment. So I just think that all this time has passed and lapsed. Instead of you fighting for someone else's establishment to be included, to have your children, your poor little innocent babies included, and like a Martin Luther King effect. He didn't give a damn about how the future was going to go. I mean, it may have seemed like that, but that approach was all wrong. He want to integrate you or what have you, and all in hindsight, I hate to say it, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong and I could be right. I don't know, but were you sleeping with white women to have this bias, to have this inclusion? Like, you want to all of us just to be with each other and as one, when it was never designed that way. It was never designed that way. So his theory was take all the abuse and just show that you could be better people and stand up and turn the other cheek and let them just rape you, beat you. And when they get tired of it, they'll just stop and just say, you know what? These pretty cool people. We're going to let them, you know what? We're going to let them live. We're going to let them. It don't work that way. I don't know how he was thinking, or, like I said, if it wasn't the fact that you just being up a white woman's butt or getting something for yourself exclusively only to make them type of decisions for a whole mass of people that chose to listen to you. I don't know where his mindset was, because I think that things was much better when you excluded yourself from them. That is just the best thing. I mean, I don't know why Carter G. Woodson would recommend that as well. Way before Martin Luther King, way before, Malcolm X. I don't understand where did that narrative go? And Malcolm X didn't even have that narrative. He said, separate yourself. Not to say you can't do business with them, of course, like Chinese people, they come down to your neighborhoods and do business with you and take your money, but they don't want anything to do with you for the most part. For the most part, they are exclusive. But you're the only group of people that have been subjugated, been enslaved against your will, been, even after the slavery was quote unquote over, supposedly, you still affected by the effects of it, and it's still going on. I mean, you're still being murdered and raped, and the taxes just change. All the people that held the slaves and the great grandfathers and stuff like that, their children are now in the medical fields, law enforcement, the judicial systems. I mean, they're all over. And they have them same sentiments that their forefathers had. So I don't see what did you escape? What did you escape when it was not meant for you? Sesame Place was not designed for black children. It was just not. It's not designed for black children to go and have an awesome, great, lovely time. It's just not. It's not. So I don't understand, in all these years, instead of fighting them, trying to get something from them or trying to make them change, why don't you go and change the narrative and create your own business so your children can come and enjoy themselves and have, just like if they, if they're killing you in their hospitals, if you're so educated and so smart, especially for the women, so they say, over the way of what, why don't you go? And I'm not saying that black people have not done that, because they have. Trust and believe. Yes, they have. Exactly what I'm saying. I'm not the only black person that thought this way and felt this way. And I'm not the only black person that thought this way and felt this way. And on top of that, quite a few of them that have had resources to make that stuff happen. But we do understand, when you go out, you have the enemies against you. And not only do you have the enemies against you, the powers that be, you have, who do you know? Your own, that will come against you in a New York minute. But we're not even going to talk about what we do to each other. Let's talk about what they do and how we react. So back at this story, these two people chose to lash out at this academy, this Christian academy. And not only did they choose to lash out at the academy, they choose to just slander them and put their child someplace else. That another type of Christian academy that went along with the get along, that went along with their lifestyle, that went along with their way, and went along with what they wanted for their child. So what I'm saying is, I don't understand why black people just can't get those sentiments to do the same thing. Move on. Don't be involved. If they don't want your children I wouldn't want my child someplace that my child does not want it and not like, based upon the color of their skin, based upon their parents' faults. or sins or whatever, however it's viewed. Could you imagine that? And exactly what black people go through. We're condemned because of a skin color. We're condemned to let someone tell it, oh, because your ancestors were slaves. So you're looked at. You're all these different excuses when you could just pick up and remove yourself and go someplace else. Now, yes, it is easy. It is okay and easy peasy for a white child with white parents to go and they can just go and make a big stinking up and remove their child and go someplace else and still get the same thing. I get it. Black people don't have it like that. It was not designed that way for us. So it's like you basically have to eat out the hands of the oppressor and take what you got to come out that mindset. I ain't got to take nothing. Your child don't need to be there. Just like they don't need to fight to put their child someplace where the school itself is stated that their morals and values with your lifestyle does not line up with what we want. It just doesn't, and I'll read it right here. Let's see, what did they say? We've never been confronted so bluntly about our relationship, Emily Parker shared. Our love, our marriage has always felt natural. Our families have always made us feel like we are two people who love each other. This is a big slap in the face. So she feels like that's a slap in the face for you to come at her because of her sexuality. And black people don't feel like it's a slap in the face for you to come at me because of the color of my skin. Something that I couldn't even choose, okay? I myself could not choose. She can choose not to be gay. She could choose to keep that to herself. That's what I don't understand about the gay lifestyle. I mean, it's no harm. You be who you want to be. You be with who you want. You have to answer to that. I don't. But what I don't understand is, why is it that needs to be paraded around? What you do in your bedroom at night with whom you choose to do it with is truly your business. So why would that have to be on display? I don't see straight people normally walking around here wanting you to accept them because they're straight. I mean, that just makes no sense to me. What you do is what you do. You don't have to put all this pride stuff out. You don't have to make these big stinks. You don't have to make these long Facebook posts about, shaming people, and talking about how, oh, well, your God supposedly love everybody and we're trying to do the same thing and blah, 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 blah. All fine and dandy. Has nothing to do with everyday living. And I do get it. That child not being able to come near should not have had anything to do with everyday living. But I can tell you, I do see the shades of gray with that, because why would I want, back again with the race thing, why would you want to put your child someplace where they're not wanted, where they're not even liked, based upon certain characteristics about them or their family? They're going to be condemned for the sins of the father, or you're going to be condemned because of who you are, what you look like. Why would you why do you think your child is entitled to be someplace where people morals and values and principles is totally different than yours? I mean, they need to answer to that one. Gay people should, just like black people, it's kind of like a correlation with that, in the sense like that's kind of like this really stupid and it's dangerous for black people. I mean, I can care less about little Becky and her, and I'm not saying it to be inconsiderate or to say that, children don't have any value because of their color or what have you, even though it's done to me and my children, okay, and me and my kind. It's always been done. That's like the standard here, that's done, and we're put at the bottom and barred out and subjugated and mistreated and killed. But real black people don't ever turn to you and do to you what you've done to us, because we have a spiritual with us and we have something else that's going to take care of that. So we just need not to play in it. But what we do and do not need to do is not allow our children to be in the hands of the devil. I mean, we're allowing that. When you look at it, you really are. You're pushing your children. You're making a group of people that's telling you in your face. They're showing you. They're not just telling you verbally. They're showing you through action. I mean, seeing is always believing to me. Seeing is believing. But they're showing you. They don't want you there or your children. They don't want any bother out of you. And because it's the color of your skin. Because of that. Why would you still take and want to fight and have your child someplace instead of having your own? And what I mean by your own, you need to go recreate. It ain't got to be called Sesame Place, honey, but you can make it better than that. That's what the class action suit should be. Get the money and develop the money and go make your own part. That was long. That's been a long time coming. Make you something exclusively for your kind, your people, not them. So the same is with the schools and how they feel they can stand on how they feel, and no, the child will not be coming here because we encourage man and woman. We encourage that. So that would be like an oxymoron. Your child coming here and we're telling your child, now your child goes and live with you and see you guys every day and love you. Love the ground you probably walk on. And we're going to tell this child here, this child is going to be with us for 7 to 8 hours or whatever, and we're going to sit and teach your child how filthy wrong and how her parents is going to hell. I mean, would you really want that? That's just like saying to black people, do you really want your child someplace where they can be molested, beat, and murdered? All just for the sake of, we will make a stand. We going to stand right here with you. No. I would want you gone. I wouldn't want you nowhere around me. I don't want you anywhere around my children. I feel like I'm better. I don't want that. And whatever you got, you keep it. We don't want nothing. We don't want none of it. Okay, we not that low down and that desperate to make you believe that I want anything from you. If anything, whatever I want, if I can get in there and take something that truly belong to me anyway, or whatever, my reparations or whatever, I'll feel like that's just due. But anything else, I don't want anything. We don't want anything from you. And I think it's a remnant of black people that truly have my sentiments with that. We don't want anything from you. I wouldn't fight you to have my child. I wouldn't fight you to look at my child. I would want you to keep on going in that costume. I wouldn't want you touching my child. I think I will be the one out there fighting you. You come up there trying to pick my child up or engage with my child. You trying to touch my goddamn child. You trying to molest and take my child away and kill it. That would be my sentiments to you. It wouldn't be the other way around, or you snubbed, or you didn't want to be bothered with them or whatever. No, I don't want you doing anything for mine. I don't even want you looking at them. Okay, so that's my sentiments to you. And I think if a lot of them had that mindset and them sentiments, a lot of that stuff wouldn't be going on. That stuff would be ceased. It would stop. It just wouldn't go anywhere. They would have to find a whole other way like they did before, coming burning crosses and stuff like that. They had to literally keep coming down in your territory like they used to and bother you because you so disconnected from them people and you don't want anything to do with them. So I think that's crazy. If you can see Martin Luther King to be here now, boycott. Why is nobody with that mentality? If Becky and Karen could take their child, and just go fly out of there and get mad and come for them or whatever the case may be, and fly their little behinds up out of there and take that child and put it someplace else, and they going, this child right here, where they taking her off to? They taking her off to the Hamilton. Okay, the Hamilton. Okay. In another Facebook post, Emily Parker, wrote that her daughter will be attending Hamilton Christian School. And I mean, they got to put the other school like they gloating. So how come we can't gloat about having our own park, theme park with our own characters that we making? All these youth, all these children coming out, whatever, they don't have imagination. You ain't got no artists and stuff like that. You have them. Well, draw some characters up, baby. Start making your own little friendly monsters. You can do that. You can do. I got faith in you. I know for a fact you can do that. Start encouraging your kids to do that, and you'll have your own legacies and stuff like that. Lead them people the hell up out of it. And they get what they come trying to fight it and burn it down and take it and get jealous, of course. But develop a strategy for that too. Okay, go get you some lawyers. Breed some lawyers. Breed doctors. Ain't nothing here that no other race of people doing that we can't band together and do ourselves. I don't know. We built this place. Our ancestors built this. I don't care if it was by force. So you can force your children in the right way to go the right way. You can. Instead of sitting here leaning on a zaddy, to give you something, or wait till he hand you something or whatever, or feel like he sees something worthy in one of your children, like he want to come and no, like we animals or something. Oh, that's the cutest one. We gonna go pay attention. Oh, look at that one over there. No, you ain't putting me up as no freak show or for display. It's been that way. That need to stop. It really does need to stop. So I just wanted to come and just shine some light on that. That's just my thoughts. That's my feelings about it. I wouldn't take my child no place. I'm leery with people, white people, when they come around and they being nice. I always think in the back of my mind, I'm going to watch you. Even black, I'm going to watch you, though. I know I got to watch my own, but I damn sure got to watch you at all times or whatever. And I damn sure wouldn't trust you never. Okay? So if you want me to sit here and look at my own kind like that, trust and believe I look at you like that first and foremost. Always have and always will. So I just pray that y'all develop that mindset and share, like, comment, and I will be back in the next video.